While some Rolex models like the Cosmograph and the Milgauss didn't fully realize their intended purposes, the Explorer stands out as a triumph in its own right. Originally designed for exploration, it famously accompanied Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay on their historic Mount Everest ascent, cementing its legacy as a symbol of resilience and triumph. Despite its success, the Explorer 2 faces the daunting task of living up to its iconic predecessor, with the weight of expectation and rich heritage behind it. The Explorer 2 must prove itself worthy of its lineage and secure its own place in horological history. Only time will reveal its fate. Indeed, while it wasn't specifically an Explorer model, Rolex watches accompanied several expeditions in the conquest of Mount Everest, including the historic ascent on May 29, 1953. This achievement was the culmination of numerous expeditions, and the collective efforts of many explorers, 7 of whom wore Rolex watches during their journeys. Rolex's fascination with Everest dates back to its founder Hans Wilsdorf, whose innovative spirit led him to venture into the wristwatch market with the Oyster watch. Wilsdorf recognized the significance of associating Rolex watches with esteemed figures in various fields, including pilots, scientists, astronauts, divers, and explorers. By persuading the 1933 British expedition to include an Oyster watch on their journey to extreme altitudes, Wilsdorf began leveraging the allure of Everest in Rolex's marketing efforts, even incorporating the word Everest into consumer watches. The pinnacle of Rolex's association with Everest occurred 2 decades later when Rolex watches accompanied explorers to the summit, further cementing the brand's legacy of endurance, precision, and adventure. With the 1933 British Everest expedition falling short of the summit by just 1,000 feet, Hans Wilsdorf's confidence in the durability of his watches under extreme conditions was reaffirmed. While the watches were indeed capable of withstanding temperatures as low as -32 degrees Celsius, Wilsdorf took extra precautions by using an oil that could resist coagulation in cold temperatures. Additionally, the watches were equipped with longer straps to accommodate the explorer's bulky clothing. Surprisingly, these were the only technical modifications made to the Everest watches, as they were essentially the same as those displayed in shop windows. What truly set the Everest watches apart and contributed to their iconic status was their design. Unlike the traditional Oyster Perpetual models, the Everest watches featured numerals and markers coated in luminous paint arranged in the distinctive 3, 6, and 9 pattern with a triangle at 12 o'clock. The hands were also generously coated with luminous paint, and the hour and second hands were redesigned with additional circular sections to enhance legibility in poor visibility conditions. Notably, the larger circle on the hour hand was divided into 3 portions to provide greater stability to the luminous paint, thus laying the foundation for the classic Rolex sports watch aesthetic. After the successful Everest climb, which has sparked much speculation regarding who actually wore the Rolex, it's certain that at least one explorer wore a Rolex watch. Rolex seized the opportunity to brand this new sporty style as the Explorer. It's unclear why the watch wasn't already named Explorer, especially considering that an Oyster Perpetual model with that name on the dial existed 3 years prior. Nevertheless, this event initiated a naming trend, with many future Rolex sports watches christened with names associated with their intended use. Design-wise, this historical context leads us to the 1971 Explorer 2. By this time, following the success of models like the Submariner, GMT Master, Daytona, and Sea Dweller, the original Explorer appeared somewhat outdated and delicate. Rolex thus gave it a bold makeover to align it with a contemporary style. The reference 1655 Explorer 2 epitomizes the bold aesthetic of the 70s with its striking orange coloration and unconventional design. During this period, Rolex faced challenges in selling watches, particularly the Daytona, and the Explorer 2 provided a solution by attracting a new generation of customers with its trendy appearance and vibrant colors. Aligned with Rolex's ethos of creating practical timepieces for real-life scenarios, the Explorer 2 aimed to provide explorers working in harsh environments where day and night blur together, such as in underground cave systems or amidst volcanic ash clouds, with a reliable time reference. The high-contrast bezel and prominently visible 24-hour hand with stepped dial markers were designed to enhance legibility in challenging conditions. However, despite its innovative design and functionality, the 1655 Explorer 2 struggled to gain traction in the market and was quickly replaced by the 16550 model. The successor featured a dial in polar white, paying homage to the Everest expedition and brought it more in line with the rest of the Rolex sports watch collection. In 2011, almost 30 years later, the iconic orange hand made a comeback with the reference 216570 Explorer 2. The most notable difference between the old and new models is the increase in size, with the case now measuring 42mm in diameter. This larger size aligns with the original Explorer 2's intention to give Rolex a more substantial contemporary appearance, a goal that this iteration also achieves. However, Rolex has not abandoned vintage details entirely. The famous orange hand, a hallmark of the Explorer 2, is prominently featured on the dial. Additionally, while other prominent Rolex sports models have been upgraded to the trip-lock crown, the Explorer 2 retains the twin-lock crown, as per the original design. This crown features one less seal compared to the trip-lock crown, although the watch still boasts a water resistance of 100 meters, ensuring its durability and reliability in various environments. Indeed, the modern Explorer 2 reference 216570 seems to be a hybrid, drawing inspiration from both its predecessors, the original 1655 and the facelifted 16550. This blend of design elements results in a timepiece that pays homage to Rolex's heritage while embracing contemporary aesthetics and functionality. The dial of the 216570 features round markers reminiscent of the facelifted 16550 rather than the staggered oblong seen on the original 1655. Similarly, the bezel of the 216570 has 24-hour markers, separated by triangles, a departure from the lines found on the original model. With its larger case size and wide hands, the 216570 represents Rolex's modern interpretation of the Explorer 2, serving as a spiritual successor to the 1655. Just as the 1655 refreshed the Explorer's origins for a new generation, the 216570 reflects Rolex's vision for the future of the brand. While the striking design of the 216570 may not appeal to everyone, it has the potential to become a collectible timepiece in the future, much like its predecessor, the 1655. Only time will tell how the market responds to this modern interpretation of the classic Explorer 2. What's your take on the 216570? Do you think it's a suitable homage to the Orange Hand Explorer 2, or does it fall short of expectations? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for joining us here at Ventichic. Don't forget to leave a like and comment on this video, and make sure to subscribe to our channel so you stay updated with our latest content. See you in our next video.